Alright guys, we got Damien's 2500 Silverado build to show you. We're packed full of features. We went over the top with the designing on this one. He's a loyal customer. We did his bull bar a year or two ago. He's come back for the whole tray and canopy package. Can't wait to show you what's inside of this big girl. This is our 2500 Conqueror bull bar for the Silverado. This is the second one we ever did, so we since have changed the sheet metal section, but this is pretty much where it all began 2 years ago, I think, from memory. A few little revisions here and there, but he was one of the first ones to get the 2-to-1 scrub rail with our Kingz Customs logo in it. We are bringing these back. We've changed the mounting design, so we've got a lot of orders from over east, so we're trying to get it to pretty much be exactly like this, but bolt on to the bull bar instead of the roll cage clamps, and then keep the same chassis section or bolt on section down the bottom. Which the benefits of this system, you get to still run your electric steps, so when you're running big boy lifts, you've still got your electric step to get you in. So that's a positive. Not a lot of people are building the big sideboards, and to be honest, these cars are that big. You don't want big surfboards hanging off the side in your way, carving them up, cutting them up, smashing bollards. So the electric steps, in my opinion, are the best thing for these big American trucks. But you know, to brace a big Conqueror bull bar like this, you definitely want some scrub on the side. And you can see here, Damien's chucked some little marks on it already, so they're doing their job. All right, this is what we're going to show you now. We're going to show you our big custom tray for the heavy duty trucks. All right, this is as big as it gets. We've done a shitload of work to it, and we've packed it full of features. So starting at the start, I guess at the front of the headboard, it's got 2 water tanks in it. We've got a 58 litre water tank at the headboard and a 70 litre water tank underneath the tray. We've got the water filler. This one fills the top. And then as you can see here, we've got our agricultural ball valve tap. Now that allows you to have a reserve. So if you filled up both tanks and you headed off grid, you can at least keep this tank full. And when we get to the other side, we'll show you what that tank is useful for. But if you were to run out of water in your 80 litre tank, 70-80 litre tank down below, you can just flick this over and you'll get that reserve into there, which goes to the pump. So on the other side, we do have this as a gravity fed, so you don't have to walk. We'll show you later, don't have to walk to the tank or to the rear to wash your hands to get into the cab. So we've been around a fair few trays. We know what works. We know what's useful and practical. So we've pretty much added that to this, everything we can. So Damien's given us pretty free rein. He's just told us what he wants in the non-negotiables. So we've made that work. So coming down here, we've got UHF provisions. We've got provisions up here for little quarter lights. These 2 bolt holes, these 2 holes here have little brackets to shoot camp lights down. And then we've got our AdBlue filler and our diesel fuel filler. So these are all plumbed into the factory. It's got the AdBlue filtration little box thing in there as well, so that's all maintained. Working our way down, we've got our step drawers. So without the canopy on, this is obviously a pretty large tray. This is a 2.4 long tray from here to the start of the headboard to the dovetail at the back. We did want to incorporate a step which mimics the factory step position. So on our scan data that we overlaid it, and that's pretty much exactly where it is. So if you've got a big lifted rig, obviously it's going to be still as higher, but it actually works. It's strong, it's sturdy. I'd stand on it now, but I don't want to dirty the decking. But yeah, we've tested it, used it, we love it, it's a good idea. Now we also integrated a secret drawer, so the meat that takes up, we've added like a little stash down here. It's not too secret anymore, but you'll probably forget it by the end of this video. Alright. Keeping along on the tray, we'll get to the canopy shortly. We've got our unique design guards. These fit up to 37s, 40s, and they're nice and tapered, and they got all the features you want. We've got another rear drawer here, so we've actually done a bit of the design work, done all the hard yards, trying to work it all out. So these toolboxes at the back with the style side and rear fascia, they actually are a 3-in-1. So if you come down here, you'll notice like a set of bolts. If the customer or yourself, anyone, if you want to get rid of the drawer feature, you basically just bolt the hinge to there and unbolt the runners, store the runners away, bolt the hinges on there, and you've got a normal traditional drop-down door, which you'll see on the driver's side. You'll also note that we've actually made it a 3-in-1, so we could actually unrivet this internal box, and then it's just like a normal traditional toolbox, so you've got even more room. So the options are endless, and they will be an option for anyone to choose with all of our trays going forward. Coming around to the rear, we'll get straight into the rear drawer, because then we'll be able to close it all up. We've got our friends at Oki Decking to sort us it all out. Henry sorted us out pretty last minute. He's kitted the whole rig out top to bottom. We'll get to the canopy, like I said, eventually, and I'll show you the whole idea and why it looks like that in a minute. So yeah, we've got a customer, Damien. He's thinking of it. He's not too sure how he wants to set the rear drawer up. It might be a kitchen, so we haven't done gas struts just yet until we know what direction we're going to take it. For now, we've just got the decking through it, divisions or dividers, and our integrated cup holders, beer holders, whatever you want to put in there. Integrated lockouts, so when you're on a hill on the beach facing downhill, this isn't going to go flying. Your beer's not going to smash the back of your tray. You're not going to have beer all down the side of your tray. We've got a fish ruler here, or just a generic ruler here, so you and the boys can get around it after a few beers and measure. Have a look at that. That is the tray. Besides the headboard, this rear fascia is my most favourite part of obviously the whole tray. I mean, it is part of the tray. Spent a lot of time on design to really make it look a bit different. Well, all of our shit's always different, but we wanted to make it stand out and actually kind of incorporate like some of the hard lines that the Silverados come out with, or all cars come out with, like a bumper. So we even took it another level with the colour and the colour coding. We wanted to give a bit more of like a body kit look instead of this flat tray shit that we're starting to see. Even we used to do it, so I've just had enough, and we want to try and bring something else to the table. So getting into the nitty gritty, all your safety features are retained. All right, so behind this 3D printed cover, which we designed, is your lane change assist. So that's a radar in there. It's picking up any metal objects that way. So your little orange light on your mirror comes up, and you don't, good luck everybody. Your parking sensors all there, and then you've got your reflector, and you've got your 355 tail lights, or 355 series tail lights with all the jazz. So we've got integrated, we've hit our little number plate light. Nothing shits me more than a number plate light or forgetting a number plate light when you want to design or build. So we can't forget it now. We can't remember not to put it in or build around it, and you don't have any cable or ugly wiring going into your drawer. So this is in here, it shines the lights, ambient lighting at night. And one cool feature, we'll get Jess to put it in the video, is we're moving the car in one night, and like, I'm pretty glad that I didn't really plan for it, but basically this panel, this face here with the ambient red, like your park light, lights up here. So from a distance, it actually looks like the tail light extends, which is kind of that SUV sport car look that we're going for in the long run. So it was a bit of a fluke that, but maybe you'll see it driving down the road at night and you'll be like, holy shit, that looks cool. So the rear drawer, obviously fascia, water provisions. So when shit gets fucking flooded, it's just gonna fall straight out, sand, dirt, etc. This being a cavity, and it comes straight out the sides anyway. So easy to wash, easy to keep clean. It's not all about the looks, we do keep the function there. Coming down below, our complimentary courtesy lights here that we've added. Not too bright, and they're facing like pretty much near the vertical, so we can keep it legal. They're not actually rearward facing. So a lot of these big rigs are getting their courtesy lights turned off because they're rearward facing, not that one. Okay, down here we got our water ports, options for both sides. With these twin tank setups, we can split the two, then you'd have two different pumps. But because we've got so much going on with the headboard, which you'll see hit down below, we ended up having like a really low water tank. So a really low volume water tank, because we had so many toolboxes. So that's when you'd probably utilize two different pumps, and that's why we came up with the idea of like treating it as more of a reserve. So here you've got your water outlet, your wash down outlet, and then your 12-volt pump switch there. The fun stuff, big truck stuff, I don't even know what we call it. It's just a fascia realistically with all the factory jazz and jargon. So we like to keep all of our trailer plugs in the center. I can't stand it, even with our new rear bars that are coming onto the market. We want to keep all of our trailer plug, Anderson, Tow Pro switches, everything, you name it, in the center because it's all neat. I hate when there's cables over here, left hand down, cable left the chat, all your lighting's fucked. So we 3D printed some little Anderson savers, okay, and put them on some little lanyards. Okay, so we've got provisions there. That's just your usual 50 amp power, and then these two are just extra provisions for Damien. So this hole here lines up with you know, your factory shaft that goes in there and drops the spare wheel down when you're not running big boy tires. Up here, moving on to our shiny, sexy, funky, fresh 3D printed camera bracket. All right, this is something pretty cool that we're integrating into all of our designs where we can. So we designed this, 3D printed it, bolted on, mimics the same vision, well, same field of view as your factory tub. Obviously, your factory tub, it was up here, so we could see on our scan that we rotated it a bit more to get that field of view, and we're pretty happy with it. Obviously, dependent on lift as well, but we've got it to we got it as closest to standard as possible. With a bit of guesstimate. Coming around to the driver's side, this is what we're talking about with the rear drawer system, the rear toolbox drawers being 3-in-1. So this here is like the drop-down box style. We could easily unrivet this, unbolt this toolbox, drop the door out of the way, and then pull that box out, and then you've got that whole toolbox to be used. So that's something cool we've come up with. All right, just moving up to our tray sides. Damien's got long, like obviously when the canopy's off, we've got full length tray sides as well. We've got our stealth, we've got a hidden latch system. All right, and it drops down like so. So got pretty funky here with our canopy jack off system and obviously having the canopy. So basically easy enough to use. Push down, push in, give it a shake until everything's in. Not going anywhere, nice and hidden, not seeing those big ugly over center latches on your tray. We don't mind them on the bars, rear bars, but not on your tray. It's disgusting. All right, and then driver's side, here we go. We've got the front toolbox, exactly the same as the passenger side, mirror image, hidden storage compartment, you name it. Close her up. Integrated step, just how we like it. Yes, it's strong. Get up here, tie it off, you name it, mate. All right, so yeah, it works. It doesn't just look good. Just quickly up here, we've got our second water tank filler. Now this feeds the bottom tank, the big dog, the 80-litre one. So we've got a UHF tab here as well. All right, so as I was saying with the other water tank, we've just got a gravity fed for the top tank. So if you do just want to wash your hands quickly, you turn that on. Happy days, hop in the cab, wash your hands, hop in the cab, get home for dinner. All right, so getting into our canopy, we've got a pretty cool intricate jacks off system that we use. You'll see below, it slides in, leg system, slides in, you back these bolts off, slide it in, rattle gun or wind it up by hand. Our canopy, we've got a 1300 long canopy. Usual stuff, usual canopy. Damien wanted to set this up with just a fridge, so we've got the Ingle 95-litre and the Evercool drawer here. Now Damien's 12-volt system is in his rear seat. He got that sorted before he came in between the two different builds that we've done for him. So that's his 12-volt system in there. So we'll show you how we got the power into the canopy in a second. So this side's pretty standard, pretty basic. We've got our normal tough terrain lights, toggles up there, and it's pretty much set up to see how he wants to use it, and then we can start adding drawer systems and whatnot. But we've got our center division with our cutout, and now that allows for fishing rods and whatnot to bend around and sit through these shock cords here. So it's a bit of an idea that we've come up with. He said he wanted to hold his fishing rods up there. Hopefully they work. So Damien's intricate rear canopy here, he wanted to put like just tie stuff off to, as most people would, and we just wanted to protect the back of the canopy so it didn't get destroyed. So we got the spare wheel obviously under the vehicle, so we're not too stressed about that. So we wanted to put the easy track M-lock system along the back, and then Oki deck on the back wall just to protect it. So realistically, no scratches are going to be done on the canopy. And then yeah, just a simplistic design on the back, not too much, no big logos, no big Chev badges. So that's the whole concept of this here. On top of the canopy, we've got a roof rack system, lightweight roof rack system that just helps for more storage. Driver's side, basic setup. On the side, we've got the two deep drawers, Kingz Customs one-touch drawers with our adjustable dividers. Tough terrain lights up the top, more fishing rod, lanyard, hat holders, whatever you want to put up there, rod holders, and as you can see, just a nice big workable storage space. All right, so coming through here, poking the camera, you can see our big Deutsch plug, our big fucking 25 million pin Deutsch plug. That's our 3D printed pass-through plug. So one turn of that and you've got no power, or you've got power to your canopy. So if you ever want to remove it, unplug that, one your bolts out, slide your legs in, drop the tail sides and drive away. Obviously unbolted from the tray first. All right. So then anyway, we've got our plug that comes in. We've set up our relays and powers and fuses here, just a small little power box here. So it's a lot easier working away. If he wants to add anything internally, he can here. Doesn't have to keep going through that plug. All right, guys, there's Damien's 2500 Silverado build finished up. Let us know below what you think of it, what we should add, what we should change. And of course, check out the other posts, detailed photos, all the different features and anything that we've missed. But all in all, we think it's a pretty gangster build, built respectively, nothing too crazy or high. But I think this will definitely turn some heads on the road.